Hello and welcome to CUBN. This is Christian United Broadcasting Network. I am your host, Troy. This is the CUBN News Hour. We got Christians need not apply. Few Syrian Christians refugees allowed into U.S. Christians need not apply. That's a question. Christians need not apply. Few Syrian Christians refugees allowed into U.S. Although 1 million Christians have fled Syria, Christians comprise only 0.51% of the refugee total. More than 98% of those allowed into the United States this fiscal year are Sunni Muslims. The Obama administration has surpassed its goal of receiving 10,000 Syrian refugees by October 1st, but very few of the new arrivals are Christian. The official count of the fiscal year reached 10,126 resettled Syrians when 224 refugees arrived Monday. They are among 12,000 Syrian refugees interviewed earlier this year in Jordan by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Although 1 million Christians have fled Syria, Christians comprise only 0.51% of the refugees total. More than 98% of those allowed into the United States this fiscal year are Sunni Muslims. The largest Islamic section in Syria, comprising 74% of the population. Wow. Some Christians believe the Syrian Christian immigration numbers should be much higher. The percentage of those allowed into the United States should reflect their percentage of the population in Syria. Last September, President Obama pledged to increase the number of Syrian refugees allowed to the United States. He set a goal of 10,000, 6 times the number of those allowed to enter the United States. In FY 2015, when a total of 1,682 were admitted. That compared to only 105 Syrian refugees admitted in FY 2014. Although Christians are 10% of Syrian population, only 100 Syrian Christian refugees have been allowed to enter the United States since the start of the Civil War more than 5 years ago. Why so few Christians? Earlier this year, some of the Republican president candidates, Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, and Donald Trump, said greater immigration priority should be given to Syrian Christians over Muslims. President Obama has argued there should be no religious litmus test for admitting Syrian refugees. He said such a policy would be un-American. When individuals say we should have a religious test and that only Christians, proven Christians, should be admitted, that's offensive and contrary to American values, this president said. Last March, United States Secretary of State John Kerry announced that atrocities committed by the Islamic State against Yazidis, Christians, and other minorities in Iraq and Syria constituted genocide. But so far, the genocide declaration has not changed the number of affected minorities allowed into the United States. In addition to receiving only 52 Christians this fiscal year, the government has only admitted 14 Yazidis and 20 Shia Muslims into the country. Official figures released before the Monday arrivals. The Obama administration has yet to announce its goal for next year, but immigration observers expect the number to be set at 20,000. Democratic president candidate Hillary Clinton says she'd like to see the number increase to 65,000. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump says that would amount that would amount to a 500% increase in Syrian refugees admitted into the country. He has called to a bigger version of the legendary Trojan horse. He and other Republicans say the government lacks a thorough vetting program for the refugees, and the current process exposes the people of the United States to the possibility of more Islamic terror attacks like those that occurred in the San Bernardino in Orlando. Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta understand. Nobody understands what the President of the United States wants to do. I mean, if you look at it in a way where, you want to help all these people out, you want to bring them in the United States, and you don't really care who they are. It's just weird how a lot of them are who they are. A lot of them are Muslims, and there's barely any Christians. And I guess we need to really dig deep and try to. I mean, the analysts say what they say. I mean, basically, they did the homework and they looked to see what came in and what didn't come in, and they're basically stating that more Muslims and Christians are coming in. Now, it's not a bad thing that the Muslims come in, because the Muslims are basically, they're just like you and me. I mean, they're human being. But it is a bad thing if they don't get, if they come in legally and not illegally, because you could get a criminal or a killer, a mass killer. A guy's been in jail his whole life because he constantly rapes and kills people, and then he comes into the United States free of charge, given all the freedom to do whatever he wants, and then he creates his same style of living within the United States, and then it's illegal to do that here, but he does it anyway. Then he gets caught, and it's a whole thing. But by then it's too late. Somebody's dead, and all that is just messed up. I mean, that is the thing that you need to look and understand. I mean, yeah, it's all about trying to save these people, bring them into the country and help them, but they need to actually, just look at them. We need to find a way to support their needs there and help them there without them getting killed. That's what we need to do, instead of bringing them here and then we getting killed. I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. We just have to understand that for our safety and our kids' safety, these are the things that we need to do. All right? I mean, it's by law. You need to come in legally, not illegally. I mean, how are you going to change the law and just let them all in without properly checking them? I don't understand that. I mean, it's just pretty messed up how that is. Christians need not apply. Few Syrian Christian refugees are allowed into the United States. That's entirely. I don't know. Or we can just pray for them.